Okay, so
Alright, how is AMP so successful? Let's
I'm
see what
sure
this
most
vid
of you
talk
are
about.
familiar with one of the biggest
For me, I've
groups
been
on
watching AMP
YouTube
from like the
named
beginning, so
AMP.
like,
They've become one of the biggest content creation groups on the internet over the past few years, and for the most part, I feel like we all pretty much know this
bro,
backstory.
I
At
miss
least I
period up
thought we
here
all knew
with
this
Agent and
backstory
Low,
up until I
bro.
saw
I
this
wish they would
clip
bring it back.
surfacing around the internet.
I should have known who Chris V is. I should have known who Chris Next
Yeah,
Door is.
nah,
I
he
should
was
know
elite meat riding right here. Like he just started chatting.
who Kai Cenat
This
is
really pissed
because
me off
you
when I
are
seen
the
this.
driving force in it. But them I shouldn't even know.
Like, what is he talking about? The whole like Kai and them already addressed the situation and stuff, but it's like it was weird that he said this because one, he even admitted like I think a little later in this clip that he didn't even watch AMP like that or something like that. But AMP was literally a thing before Kai joined, and AMP was literally already like going up
They are. If you guys
Right.
don't know
even
what
before
AMP
Kai
is, that
joined.
is
Like they
Kai
already had
Cenat's
their own
group. That's the
traction.
problem. Kai Cenat shouldn't have a group. You have to insulate yourself because at the end of the day, that group doesn't mean anything without him.
And this clip would even lead to a response from certain AMP members,
That's
even
what I'm
Casanat
saying.
himself, and that's what
People
made
would
me
just be able
realize
to
that
get on
maybe there
podcasts and
isn't
say
many people that
anything.
actually knows the history of AMP. So what's really the history of AMP and how did it become as big as it
That
is
pissed me
now?
off, and I'm not
Well,
even
that's
in
probably
AMP.
what you're here to figure out. So if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join the Trap House with the biggest trapper. And while you're at it, don't forget to click that very first link down below in my
Liar
description to
G.
join my Discord server and become an official
Let's
creator.
give
So
up.
as we all know, the AMP that we all know and love features 6 key members. These members included Duke Dennis, Casanat, Phantom, Agent Double Zero, Chris Next Door, and the person that y'all swear I look like the most,
Let's give
no, it's not Dr. Umar, it's actually
Davis.
Davis. So those are the 6 key members of AMP. I'm sure many of you already knew that, but what if I told you some of these members were never originally supposed to be in AMP to begin with?
Yeah, I
So
was about to say
originally,
it was different members, like well different YouTubers that they had at the
back in
beginning.
2019, Agent wanted to move to the United States from Canada, and while in the process of moving, he had this idea to create a big content creator house, but he wanted to do this house in Los Angeles, and this was primarily supposed to be like a 2K community content house because the original members that were supposed to be in AMP included YouTubers like Cheeseaholic, Peter Mick, Mike Rezemba, and of course Agent
Bro,
Davis and Phantom.
Mike,
There was a
imagine
whole
that.
bunch of other people involved that we
It would
talked
have
to,
been
maybe
so
like
much.
seven, eight
Yo,
content creators.
AMP
We're gonna get like this big ass
would have
house in
been
LA.
so different.
Are you're not gonna bring the names up?
Peter was one of the people. We briefly talked to Cheeseaholic
I wonder
about it.
how it
We
would have
talked
been
to all
if
these people just to
they would
see,
have had
like,
Mike
gauge
join.
interest. Like, yo,
Cause
would
I
you be down
only
for something like
be
this?
watching like his.
Most people
Well,
were
he does basketball content, but I don't know. I've never seen him do any IRL.
really interested.
And this
He's usually
entire
like
idea
talking
was
about like
also ran by
old
a
stuff
few
that
other
happened in
content creators as
basketball
well, but
history and stuff.
originally
So
it was
I don't even
all
know how that would
Agents
look.
and Phantom's idea. But the entire plans of the original AMP group would end up falling through.
Long story short, the LA plans fell through. A couple people pulled away, and then a couple other people were like, they had doubt. They're like, I don't know, because it's commitment to move into a house full of people and start a big thing.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of work. And so they pulled out, and then everyone kind of just pulled out in fear, and then LA flopped.
So this would lead to Agent having to find somewhere else to move to, and he ultimately ended up picking Atlanta. And he chose Atlanta because him and his cousin Waleed, who also has like a key role in everything the AMP does, they both knew some people in the Atlanta area, so that's why they chose this spot. And one of the people that Agent knew that lived in Atlanta was Davis. So after Agent officially moved to Atlanta, this is where him and Davis would start collabing a lot, making lots of content together. So this would lead to Agent wanting to revisit the entire AMP idea, and Agent would also mention that he was just really infatuated with this idea of AMP simply because he was motivated just from a business standpoint to other big organizations such as FaZe Clan.
So in my mind, I'm trying to think like, how can we create lifetime wealth? And in my mind, I'm thinking like, think about FaZe Temper, FaZe Rain. Even if they own like 10 to 15% of FaZe Clan, that's worth millions, probably tens of millions of dollars each. So in the event that they end up selling, that's some lifelong wealth.
So after doing these videos with Davis and went to revisit the idea of AMP, he would then reach back out to Phantom, Duke, and Davis to see if they just wanted to still try out the whole content group thing with AMP. And it turns out all of them were still really big on the idea, so they all agreed to do it. So this would lead to the creation of AMP, but this wouldn't be the end of the story at
No, the
all.
old
So you guys
AMP
know, just because you have
videos,
a
bro,
team
them
of 4
things still
people,
hit.
that was only the basis of what AMP needed to start. They also needed editors and things like that to make sure these videos are getting done correctly and out on
That's
time.
where Chris
So
Next
this
Door
is where
come
they
in.
would meet Chris Next Door.
Yes,
Originally,
sir.
Chris would start off with just being the editor for AMP. So now that they had the creators and they had a great editor in Chris Next Door, This would lead to them posting their first official video on the AMP YouTube channel titled AMP 2v2 Tag Team Boxing. I don't remember the exact view count that it had like when it originally released. It's at 2 million now, but obviously like that's inflated. But I genuinely remember this video being like a banger because at the time no one had seen a group channel come from the 2K community quite like this. They were all still very early in their careers, but they were all also still very big names within the 2K community. So after the success of the very first upload, they continued posting more and more videos weekly. And the type of content AMP was producing at this time consisted of a lot of different challenges or like basketball content. And they would stick to having just the 4 key members in the videos for about 3 months, all the way up until June 22nd, where they would officially feature Chris Next Door in a video. And this video was titled AMP Game of 21.
Pre-injury Chris, man.
Now, I personally think this is one of AMP's best basketball videos. So if you're into like basketball content like I am, I would highly recommend going back to watch this video. But this would be the very first video that Chris was ever featured in. And
Chris really tough. It's just that he always getting injured.
Featured in more videos over time, and this continued on for about 3 months. And later
can't stay healthy to save his life.
Include another person in their videos, and this time it would be Casanat appearing in his first ever AMP video, which was an AMP 2v2 basketball showdown.
Oh, alright, bro. I thought this joint was longer than 6 seconds. I was about to say, y'all tweaking with the nonchalant.
Of course, Casanat wasn't actually hooping in this video because we all know he's terrible. But he was like more of a side character. He was a sideline personality, and he had like some funny moments.
I gotta check out. What's that? What the hell was that noise? What was that?
Throughout this video, and that led to fans really liking.
Man, I forgot what I was about to say.
The rest of the group. Now, at the time of
appreciate the bits, bro.
Casanat had about 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, maybe a little over 100,000. And at this time, Kai was really mostly known for doing skits, as well as doing like ding dong ditch videos at his college. But with Casanat being from the Bronx, which is the same place that Phantom's from in New York,
I ain't gonna lie, those videos used to be tough.
And forming a bit of a relationship, and this is where Phantom would end up seeing a lot of potential in Casanat and invited Kai to come out.
Not a kidnapping prank where
Phantom came to me and was like,
bro, the kidnapping prank that Phantom had did on Kai, bro, that joint was funny as hell.
I want you to like, I'm trying to tell them about you, and I was wondering if you like just watch what we got on the channel and see if like you interested. And then like, long story short, I was watching, and then he said, yo, you gonna fly out with me like next month or whatever, which I did.
And this moment would end up changing Casanat's life entirely. So like I stated just now, he was first introduced in the 2v2 video as like more of a sideline character. He didn't really have like a big role. But just 2 weeks later, he would reappear in another basketball video that AMP did titled AMP Plays 3v3 for a Lamborghini. And during this video, he had a much bigger role. He was on one of the 3v3 teams. And even though he wasn't like officially an AMP member at this point, they still introduced him in the videos as AMP.
Yo, I remember when I was reading the comments back then, people was like, why is, who is this person in the AMP video? Why is he in there? But it was not messing with Kai at first.
It led to him building more chemistry with AMP and just meshing well with all of the fans that AMP had already gained. And he will also feature in the very next AMP video, which was titled AMP $100 Walmart Outfit Competition. And they will also introduce him once again as AMP Casanat. And after how well this video shoot went and how much the supporters were loving Casanat, this will be the day that Kai would officially become a member of AMP. And after this is where things really started to kick off for AMP. Like, they were already doing good with the original 4 people that they had. But
man, they just need to, bro, if AMP uploaded like 3 videos a week consistently, they will be like so insanely big.
Added 2 more great personalities to
the only problem is they all stream and stuff, so they got mad stuff that they got to do anyway.
And eventually lead to them getting their first group content house in Atlanta.
Low key, they probably knowing AMP, they probably got enough videos like that's not even uploaded right now that they could just like schedule.
They got the very first AMP house. The rest is complete history.
Cause they be having hella content that they don't be uploading,
which led to them getting their first 1 million subscribers on the AMP channel, as well as many other individual achievements. And speaking of individual achievements, this is where we have to talk about this whole like AMP is nothing without Casanat nonsense. Anyone who's been keeping up with this
saying
video
anything.
or even knew about the
I'm pretty sure
history prior to
Duke.
this video,
The thing is, I'm pretty sure Duke hit a mill before he joined AMP, if I'm not mistaken.
we all know that AMP
And a bunch of them already had a name for themselves in like the 2K community.
And
Duke,
it's been that
Kai,
way since it was just 4 of them. Each of them were already
Davis.
big in the 2K community.
I
And
think
after
Phantom
it
too.
expanded to them getting Chris and Kai Cenat, that will only continue. But let's just get that about the way. They're all individually successful. They all do their thing outside of AMP. And granted, you can say that, okay, Kai Cenat did help AMP out a lot, of course. Yes, he's probably the most popular member of AMP. Yes, he's the most popular Twitch streamer on the platform. Yes, he's a lot of these things. But that doesn't make AMP nothing if you remove him from the situation. Just like Kai helps out AMP a lot, AMP helped Kai Cenat out a lot as well in the early
They all
stages of his
benefit.
career. In fact, recently Kai Cenat would even go live and reply back to this podcaster's statement, and this is what Kai had to say.
First of all, everybody individually has motion. Individually. Bro, AMP has changed my life, nigga. Without AMP, nigga, I feel like a large amount of my life I will be like lost and still trying to figure shit out. Right, real shit. That was mad disrespectful, bro.
So yeah, if anyone really deserves like a lot of credit for AMP, it's Phantom, because Phantom was like one of the original people who came up with the idea for this. He even came up with the name AMP himself. So in my personal opinion, like, just give everyone in AMP their respect, because we've truthfully never really seen anything like this with an entire group of creators. I truthfully think the only other group that you could say is like the Sidemen, and they've been around for years at this point. I just personally think each member of AMP plays
already
their
see
own
different
key
because they
role,
more
and
so
they're each
like
important in their
with the
own
skits
way
and
to
all
the
that.
videos. Like, if you wanted to remove any one of the 6 AMP members from
It wouldn't hit the same.
any of the group videos, like, the channel will probably never be the same again.
That's even I know people be like Davis and stuff like that, be like he the least entertainer and all that, whatever they gotta say. But like, you remove any of them, it's not gonna be the same.
Because they each are important and have their own specific dynamic. But that's just my personal opinion on this whole situation. You guys know that the only opinion that I really care about is you guys' opinion. So let me know down below in the comments, what do you think about this whole situation? Do you think that AMP would be nothing without Kai Cenat? Or do you think that
Bro, AMP would still be successful without Kai Cenat, it just wouldn't be as big as it is. But they all need each other. From Chris to Duke to Kai, whoever, they all need each other. Even the affiliates like John Snipe and all them, like the people who used to be in the older AMP videos and like up to now, everybody in them videos all contributed to their success, bro. Like, you feel me? You need all of them. They all played a major role. When Chris started editing the videos, you seen like a major improvement and all that, and like the quality and stuff. So it's like, you feel me? They all play their own role into AMP success. You feel me? No one is bigger just because Kaz is more successful or whatever like that. You feel me? They all you feel me? They all winning. You feel me? WAMP though.